Have you ever needed a dessert in a hurry? I have a perfect one for you today, my no-bake peanut butter pie. Hi, I'm Mara Marie Christiani, the Airless Chef. Let's get started. We're going to start with the crust, and I'm doing a half recipe because frankly I can't have all this food around, but don't worry about memorizing it because all the ingredients you're going to need will be in the comment section down below, okay? I'm putting the Oreo cookies in my food processor, and I'll just put it on. Perfect. Made a mess. I'll add my melted butter. Done. Now, if you don't have a food processor, you can do it by hand. Just put your cookies in like a Ziploc bag and roll over them with a rolling pin or bash them. And you can also buy them already in Crumbs. That's nice too. I do like to use a food processor. All right, we'll take this out and into our vessel. Now, this recipe, if you're gonna make it as a pie, in a regular pie, like a 9-inch round pie dish, I would suggest baking it a little bit in a 350 oven, 6 to 8 minutes. And what that does is it sets the crust so that when you go to cut it, it will stay together. Otherwise, when you go to cut it, the crust might kind of fall away. The reason why I call it no bake is that you really don't have to, and I'm not even gonna make it in a pie dish. I'm gonna show you after how I like to make it. We're gonna put the crust into our little containers here. I love these, aren't they adorable? Now, you could put it in a pie pan, like I told you, 9 inches is perfect for that, just a regular pie pan, and you would put the entire amount of crumbs in there and press it down, bake it off, whatever. But today I want to do them in these. I think they're adorable. And I'm going to put enough crust that when you dig in, you get a little bit of crust with every bite, right? I've done it in martini glasses, beautiful coupe glasses. You can even do them in little mason jars. It's really nice, especially if you're doing a backyard barbecue or maybe even a wedding dessert table. So I'll take about a tablespoon, place it in the bottom, and I don't need to press down too much because like I said, you're gonna dig in there and get one with every bite. I'll probably have leftovers. Any leftovers you can serve with your kids will love this on top of ice cream. Put a little fudge sauce and then a little bit of this Oreo cookie crumble. That is nice, or you can just eat it with a spoon like like someone I know does. All right, that's about right. You see the amount that I put in there? I think that's a perfect amount. We'll set that aside. And I will go ahead and place this in the fridge just to set up a little bit while I make the filling. All right, the first thing we're gonna do is make the whipped cream. Heavy cream. Make sure it's chilled. It will whip better if it's chilled, so don't set it out in the morning like your cream cheese. Everything else should be at room temperature, especially the cream cheese. All right, I'm gonna use my handheld KitchenAid. I love this. This is 9-speed. And believe me, this baby can get the job done. If you don't just have to whip a little bit of cream and you don't want to get the big boy out, you do this one. All right, I want to stop when the whipped cream looks like shaving cream. So it's not real stiff, but it's not too soft because it does need to hold up, but I don't want it too stiff because I want to be able to blend into the peanut butter, which is a much heavier ingredient. I don't want streaks of whipped cream. I want it all to come together. We'll set this aside and make the rest of the filling. Okay, the star of the show, peanut butter, goes into the bowl first. This is smooth peanut butter. I don't suggest you use the crunchy one. It's not gonna be as nice looking. We're gonna put peanuts on top anyway. All right, and then we're gonna add our cream cheese. This is at room temperature. It's quite cool in here, so I may have to work a little harder at it. All right, just those two go in first because we want to make sure that they're perfectly together. This is actually technically a peanut butter mousse once we add the whipped cream. You can use the same filling to do trifles. And what is a trifle? That's a layered dessert in a beautiful glass. And you can use chocolate cake with this peanut butter mousse and a chocolate pudding on top of that and whipped cream. And there's so many things you can do with it. It's very versatile. All right, you can see the peanut butter is in there really nice now. I will stop and add my powdered sugar. But you hear me say this all the time, we will need to sift it. If you don't sift it, you're going to find that you have big clumps of sugar, and it makes it very difficult to make it look nice. I want this peanut butter mousse to be perfectly smooth. All right, that looks good. And like always, I want to add just a little bit, pinch of kosher salt. And we'll start that on low because I want my brown shirt to stay brown instead of splattered. And then we can up that. It's going to look very crumbly, but remember we're going to add the whipped cream to it, so this part you want to make sure that you get all that powdered sugar in there. And this is why I sifted that powdered sugar. If I hadn't done that, I would have little pockets of powdered sugar, and that is not cool when you go to eat it. All right, this looks really good. This is the tricky part, getting everything off the beaters without wearing it. Done, perfect. All right, we're done with that. When I fold in the whipped cream, I'm going to put just a little bit at first because I want to lighten it up. And I'll be kind of rough with that whipped cream on this part of it because the job of the first part of the whipped cream is just to get the two introduced. All right, that's looking good. Now I'll put the rest of it in there. You can see my beautiful whipped cream is not too stiff, it's not too soft, it's just right. Now I'll be a little bit more gentle. I'm going to fold it in. That means I'm going to go around underneath and turn it over. And I turn the bowl with one hand as I fold with the other hand. The whipped cream here is not really acting as much of a lift as it would in a lot of other applications. It does lighten the mousse up, but it's there for to kind of break up that peanut butter, the stiffness of the peanut butter. This is what makes it the mousse. I think peanut butter and chocolate are the best flavors ever invented. How many of you remember as a kid, you only had like 5 choices of ice cream in the ice cream aisle, and now there's like 300? Well, we used to get vanilla ice cream and I would put peanut butter pieces in it and eat that for my peanut butter ice cream. All right, that's perfect. You see how it looks just like a mousse? That's exactly what I want. I'll put that in a piping bag and I'm going to show you how I put it into the vessel so it looks really good. I've placed the mousse in a piping bag. You don't need to do this, but I'm a pretentious pastry chef, so I have to do this. You can do it in a Ziploc bag, or you can even just spoon it in. I just like that it makes it neater. So I'm going to cut a fairly large hole, and I'm going to first go around the outer edge, and I know that way it'll be nice and clean. So I follow that line and squeeze in the middle. And you remember I made a half batch, so you'll have quite a bit more than this. That's it. And move it around a little bit. I can take an offset and just smush it a little bit, make it perfect. That's it. This will go back in the fridge. Now, it's always better with anything like this that's a no-bake to put it in the fridge for at least 4 hours minimum, or I prefer to make it the day before even. It just makes it that much easier. But if you can't, you could actually serve this right now and you would be fine. It just makes it a little bit more stable, that's all. If you're gonna serve this outside, like for a barbecue, then of course, definitely refrigerate it and don't serve it until, right before people are gonna eat it. Don't put it out in the sun for 3 hours and go, geez, it's soup. All right, that's it. I'll put them back in the fridge, let them set up, and I'm gonna make myself some hot chocolate. Our peanut butter mousse is ready, and I think it looks really good, don't you? I can't wait to taste it. Make sure you get a little bit of that crust underneath. Wow. I love peanut butter and chocolate. I made my own hot cocoa, which I also love because it's chocolate. I hope you enjoyed this. Please make this. It's really easy and it's really delicious. It looks sophisticated, but look how simple it was. Make sure you subscribe and like my channel. I would really appreciate it, and I love hearing from you. Enjoy. Have you ever needed a dessert that was quick and fast? Well, I'm going to show you how to make my hanky-panky peanut butter pie.